Hey, we still got the. Okay. I wonder. Let me edit here. Let's see. Customize. Live chat replay. Live chat. Who can send messages? Anyone. Slow mode. Huh. Did somebody do any research on this? I should probably do that. I forget until I get here that it's showing your handle, your actual name rather than your monetization. That's okay. It's weird. Hey Richard, what's going on? Hey Don. Yeah, it's like I have to like Leo. Oh, Leo's here. Hey Leo. Hey Martian Murray. Yeah, it's weird. It's like why is it community moderation participants moderation activity timestamps reactions pop out chat send feedback. Huh. Okay. And I'm using Chrome. I've always used Chrome for the live streams because, well, originally I was using Safari, but of course I'm going through the YouTube website to do the live stream. But I was just using the camera on the same kind of thing. I was using a webcam, and then I switched over to Chrome because it would work better, which makes sense because they're not gonna. So in fact, I've noticed that if I leave Windows open with Safari with a YouTube thing in it, if I'm in the middle of watching a YouTube video and it's a Safari, I'm using the browser Safari, and I leave it open for whatever hours or day or whatever, and I come back to it, click on it, it's frozen, and I have to reload the page. Or if I load too many, it freezes those. So in other words, I click on a bunch of videos and open them in other windows, those freeze. But if I do it in Chrome, it doesn't do it. So they're kind of throttling other browsers to force you to use Chrome, which that's probably called good business. I don't throttle anyone to use me instead of some other guitar player. It's not really up to me. So Bob's here. Hey, good to see you, Bob. You're only here for a short time. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, geez. Okay. Are you? Oh, is she going to be okay? Breast implants? I'm just kidding. Okay, now this is PG-13. Okay. And I just made light of a serious situation, very likely. So I'm sorry, Bob. That wasn't nice. Although we try to laugh at everything, right? I'm not sure if there's a benefit to going back. Probably. Sure. I think that, there's a mental benefit to doing these arpeggios backwards. They just don't, I haven't practiced them. Oh, here's the story on handles. More info on the change. The bottom line is it cannot be changed, and since handles are unique, it's to prevent others from impersonating you. Handles can't be changed. That's true. Oh, handles can be changed. So is that a permanent change back? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Because you can, I guess that's a handle, and then the other thing is your name, quote unquote. And you could put Tom Strahle in there and say, hey, everyone's a jerk. I hate everybody here. Thyroid remove. Okay. Will that make her life? I'm assuming they wouldn't remove it if it didn't make something better. Or is it just giving her problems? Cancer? I kind of rely on some of you guys to keep me up on the college football stuff because I don't really keep up on it. But I did watch the Dodgers the series, most of the World Series, and man, that last game was incredible. You know, and I live in LA. I guess I'm a Dodger fan geographically. I don't really have a horse in that race. I don't really have a horse in any race anymore. I mean, probably the only thing I would say I root for is Butler basketball. You know, Butler University basketball, and the fact that that little 2,500 student college got to the finals 2 years in a row is pretty stinking amazing. And that first game, what was it, Duke? The first time they got to the finals, you know, what's his name threw up a three-pointer, and if it had gone in, they would have won. And it was like 1.4 degrees off. I was like, oh man, I forget. He played for years for the Utah Jazz. Oh, the user can make their handles less obscure. Interesting. Okay. So AJ69. Oh, weird. Okay. All right. Dang, I know. And you wish you could get, like, well, a second biopsy just to get, but good to catch these things early. The fact that she had a biopsy meant that there were some kind of numbers that were up or down or something that where they shouldn't be. Okay, so and just if you're a new viewer here, I almost always lose one subscriber for the live stream. I noticed that. The whole YouTube thing is kind of slowing down for me. Mainly, it's my fault because I'm not doing a lot of new videos. I may do another video today. I've got another Bieber track that people have asked me to do a how-to video on, and it's very unique. And I'm not sure, you know, the last one I did is like sitting at 360 views or something like that. I probably need to find some more beginner stuff. But I could do like, you know what I could do is in fact, I'll just text it to myself right now. Maybe I should do a video of my 5 favorite strumming grooves. That might be kind of fun. Let's see, where's text? Here it is. Okay. Boo. I could also do 5 favorite finger picking patterns at some point. That might be a fun one. Whoops, what did I just do? Oh, cancel. Okay. So, hey, Kathy, good to see you. So, yeah, just so you know, if you're kind of viewing, you know, you're hanging out and Holly's here, we do talk a lot. We talk amongst ourselves, and it's basically a family here. I think if I stop doing these live streams, I may just go ahead and turn on the camera, leave it, and then just let you guys all chat with each other. Now there's a Discord link at the top. You can join that. And any diagrams, any PDFs I create, I'm going to upload to there. You can go to Tom's Lesson PDFs to tab on our Discord, and it'll have everything we've done through all of these videos, which were, you know, probably we're 500, 400 videos by now or something. I stopped numbering them because sometimes I wasn't doing a lesson. I felt silly numbering. Lesson number 288, and then I just talk the whole time. But we are going to talk. We are going to do some work here. You can see the scale right here over my right shoulder. Yep. Everything's weird to try to. It's like being a weatherman. That's just and I don't have a fret there. Because it's totally movable scale, no open strings. Technically, it's written here at the 2nd fret, that would be F sharp, but if I go up a fret, that's G. And you could go below that root and get that fret below that bottom root, and you go up 2 frets and get that note up there if you want to add a couple potential in-key tones to the scale. But basically, we're working with this scale, and we've been working with it in C. And so we're going to place our first finger is going to be assigned the 7th fret. And this scale is great because it's just 4 frets and every finger gets their own fret. Oh, I'm getting, oh, that's me. I'm like, that's funny. I got a text. Oh, it's me. I texted myself. Nice. Yeah. Maybe I'll do that. I mean, I have probably 100 strumming grooves, but I and um, I I I probably should also teach, if I haven't already taught on it, how to come up with your own strumming grooves. All right. So we're on this scale here. Let me just confirm my tunage. Go here, boop, like that. Yep, flat. It's getting cooler in the house. So that's it now. Better. So now when you play along with me, we'll be in tune, assuming you're in tune. Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm missing some of this here. Hi and welcome back. Ba-dum-bum. I'm trying to free strumming styles. Yep. Okay. Oh, Bruce. Oh, there's Bruce. Hi, Bruce. Yeah, I didn't forget. Well, I don't. When we move the clocks back an hour, that's it's awesome because I have to get up early on Sunday anyway for church, and so it's nice to get that extra hour. But I got up at 3 on Sunday, and it was because my eye's been bugging me, and so I got to go to the doctor today. At some point, I'm going to have to get cataract surgery on both eyes, even though I'm blind in this eye. Still have to get the surgery, and when they do it, there's a procedure they can do that will toughen up my cornea. Basically, it's like LASIK, just to kind of create scar tissue so that it will toughen up and will stop getting fissures in it, because that's what's happening. I'm either sleeping with my eyes open or whatever, and it's just, fortunately, ibuprofen is fine, but I don't want to take too much ibuprofen. And so I'll take 600 milligrams in the morning. Within 30 minutes, the pain is gone, but it just feels like someone's poking me in the eye nonstop. And I thought it was fine. I walked to Starbucks, and then it started hurting on the way. So when I'm out in the sun, oh my gosh, my eyes are just watering. I show up at Starbucks, and they're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm not sad. It's just my stupid eye." But it just hurts. Let's see. My optometrist told me some days ago, if we don't stress our eyes, we who need glasses, then they may slowly start to better. I'm assuming there's a typo in there somewhere. I generally, like when I'm reading or I'm on my phone or whatever, I don't have my glasses on. Start to get better. Yeah, one thing that's interesting is my prescription has gotten a little weaker because the apparently the cataract pushes on the lens, and it's kind of like it makes it a little stronger, or appear like it's stronger. So I'm assuming when they take it. Now, they can give me LASIK when they take out the cataract. You have to pay extra for that. And I probably won't do it because one of the things that, because I only have one eye, the glasses protect my eye. So I probably need to wear glasses the rest of my life, which is fine. I've worn them my whole life, so it doesn't bother me. They're just kind of expensive because I have to get super hard lenses. I've got basically trifocals and progressives, I think they're called. And I generally tend to like nice frames. I think the frames are like $400. I think the glasses were like $1,200 or $1,100 or something like that. So it's a little pricey for me to get glasses because of all there's some state requirements that I have because I'm blind in one eye. And so what's Sadie say? Oh, yeah, Bob, we'll be praying for your wife and for you. Hope it goes well. Hope it solves any issues that there might be. So, Get Out. Really, Martian? You did that? That's crazy. You used to stare at the sun. Yeah, I did. I mean, every little kid did. Don't stare at the sun, and that's of course what the first thing you're going to do is look at the sun. But yeah, okay. So let's do the scale. Again, if you look at this. It's 4 frets, so you can assign a finger per fret. So and if we're at the plane C, we're going to be at the 7th fret. So the first finger is going to get all the 7th fret notes. The second finger is going to get all the 8th fret notes. We have 2 notes that are played by the 3rd finger on the 9th fret, and then we have quite a few notes played by the pinky. Okay, so I can just give you fingerings here. So I can say 2, 4, meaning 2nd finger, 4th finger. 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4, 2, 4, 1, 2. And that's all I'm doing is I'm giving you, rather than saying the fret numbers, I can just say 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 4, 1, 2. And then backwards would be 2, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2. And then if you want, you can go down if you want to get that leading tone, the 7th of the scale. You can go down to the 1st finger there. And same thing up here. 1, 2, you could extend and add that. We might use that when we do these arpeggios. We may use that 10th fret pinky note there. Okay, now the first thing we talked about are dyads, and dyads are 2-note chords, like those are all little dyads, or you might call them double stops. Okay, I'm gonna get way off subject here, and I'm gonna show you this double stop that's kind of cool. And like I said, I would call this a double stop, and it's going to feel different on every type of guitar. So if you're on a Gibson or if you're on a Fender, if you're on acoustic, it might be impossible. But this is a pretty cool. It's crazy. But what's happening there is I'm basically pushing these two. I've got my 3rd finger and 4th finger on the 10th fret of the 2nd and 3rd string. Okay, so I'm playing an F and an A. Okay, and what's crazy is if I basically get behind him and I push him up, I'm not trying, but what's happening is that G string is going up a whole step and the B string's only going up a half step. So I'm getting this dominant 7th over the C thing. You know, it's the coolest little double stop. And I might be pushing a little harder on the 3rd finger. The 3rd finger, and I got my pinky on the other one. The pinky just naturally can't go very far. It's just a weaker finger. but I'm trying to get to these two notes and see if you do it. But it's kind of like having a pedal steel, where you push down two levers and the two strings go up. One goes up a half step and the other goes up a whole step. It's really, really cool. And so, and like I said, if I picked up my Strat, I would have to do it. It would feel different. It would have different resistance. I would have to push either harder or softer depending on kind of the scale length, the string gauge, all that stuff. And then, when I'm coming down, I'm hitting with my first finger. I'm barring at the 8th fret, and I'm hitting the 2nd and 3rd string again, and then I'm barring those two, but I take it off. I kind of take the bar off, but keep my tip of my finger on the G string, and I bend up to the E natural. I could do it that way. Oh. But then on a Gibson, that's what happens. Now it went the other way. Man, Gibsons, I tell you what. So that's just kind of a cool. Oh, it does sound like. Yeah. Oh, it is. Is that from Katie? No, it's from Royal Scam. Yeah, it is. It's a very common blues thing, and it's probably Larry Carlton doing that. And it's not easy. So if you're not getting it, don't worry. It's not an easy thing to get. I'm not even sure how I got it, or if I just stumbled on it. All right. So let's go back to our scale. Let's do dyads, and we're going to separate the dyads. So we're going to play C, E. So we're looking at this scale. We're going to go C, E, D, F, E, G, A. I'm sorry, F, A, B, D, C. I'm sorry, A, C. It's hard to do. Hard to look at that, say it, and play it. So we got C, E, D, F, E, G, F, A, G, B, A, C, B, D, C, E. Or you could even stop at the C. Okay, and that was the first. Okay, and so what we did was technically we did the dyads, the triads, and the sevenths. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to put in parentheses, then lead chromatically. That kind of works. Okay. So then that would be the next thing you would do to that, all right? So it ends up being 6 little exercises. And so by leading chromatically, okay, a leading tone is a tone that leads into, let's just say for the sake of argument, that it's below the note. You're leading below the note. And it's going to be a half step below. So when we do this, what's crazy about this, when we do it, excuse me, you will actually ultimately hit all 12 notes. So every note, ultimately you're going to be, oh, that's weird. Where did my sound go? Did I turn it down? No. Well, that's interesting. Did something get updated? Hold on a second. Okay. Checking everything. It's probably the interface, for some reason reset. Where are you, interface? Oh. Let's see here. Oh, it's over here now. Okay. All right, there's the mic. Weird. Okay, that's the direct signal. It's getting it. Huh. That's weird. Goes to the machine. Doesn't matter, I can do this on acoustic and then figure this out later, but it just plain shut off. You guys can still hear me. I mean, you could probably hear this guitar acoustically because it's semi-hollow body. But it'd probably be better if I did it on acoustic. And that's fine, I can do it on the Gypsy guitar. Weird. All right. Oh, thanks, Leo. Okay. So I'll switch to the Gypsy guitar. Not sure why that cut off. As it's getting to the. Pretty sure. Yeah, it's definitely getting to there. So it's definitely an internal. I think it's an OBS, not OBS thing, but oh, did I hit something? No, that wouldn't have affected it. Weird. Okay. And I'll tune this one. Leading tones and neighboring tones are a really common thing in Gypsy jazz too. Like we take a D minor, we got. It's a very common kind of thing to do in Gypsy jazz. But with that, so the leading thing is we're gonna we're gonna do C E, but before we do C, we're gonna hit the note below C. Don't, and then is Sam in the house? Don't analyze it. Don't think about it. It's not important what the value of that note is. All we're doing is we're creating momentum. A leading tone is designed to create momentum. That's a leading tone. If I do creating this maybe tension, a little bit of tension. If it's one note is hard to be called tension because you're not playing against anything. But if it were against a chord, like if I were to play against this C major 7 chord here. Then you might have some notes in there that'll be like weird, but none of them are unexpected because you're setting a standard of these leading tones. Okay, so what we're doing is we're doing C, E, but we're leading into the C by a half step low. I don't care it's B, it doesn't matter, just hit. Okay, and the other thing about this is a phenomenal warm-up. It feels great in the fingers once you get it down. So it's a good exercise, but it's a melodic exercise. It's almost, I like to call it an exercise with a purpose. Okay, well, all exercises have purpose. A melodic exercise with a purpose. Okay, all exercises are melodic. No, I'm just kidding. All I need is this ashtray. All I need is this ashtray and this. Let's see. Oh, you're just saying hi. Can you enlarge the screen by going to settings and zooming in a bit? Holds back Sam from analyzing. Yeah, I'm theory blocking Sam. So okay, so we got CE, so we're going to go into that C by chromatically. Okay, then we have DF, and we want to go chromatically into that D. Not thinking about what note that is, just lead into that. And then we want EG, but to get to the leading note for E, we're just going to go down a fret and slide up. So, and you might want to pluck both notes, so it sounds like you fingered it, like you went like this. But you could slide it. One of the problems with slides, and I've actually written exercises to try to alleviate this, slides, pull-offs, hammer-ons, things like that, it's hard to keep them in time. A lot of times when you do a slide, in other words, when you don't pluck it, because that's technically, I guess you could call that a slide, but I'm plucking each note. So really all I'm doing is I'm facilitating by playing this same note with the same finger. I'm facilitating those two notes, but I'm plucking them individually so that it doesn't sound like a slide. The problem with slides is we tend to turn them into grace notes. So it might sound like this. And that's not what we want. Now, we might want that at some point. You know, I do that a lot. But even then, I'm playing a rhythm, triplets. Da 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 da. I'm not going. And I could do that as well. That would be a different feel, but okay, that would be a way to use a slide in rhythm. Triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet. Not. Which is also, again, that would be a different flavor. Totally legit. And that would be called a grace note because you're just on it for a second. Okay, so we have the lead into the C, lead into the D. Then we have the E to G. Okay, then we have FA, so we want the lead into F. We have GB, which is right here, so we want that lead in. That alone. Great little warm-up. Even for the picking hand. So what I'm doing is I'm on the 5th string, I'm first finger, 2nd finger, then on the 4th string, 1st finger, and then I'm back to the 5th string, I'm going 3rd finger, 4th finger, and then 3rd finger. Try that as a warm-up. Hard to do slow. Okay, and then the next one, again, just like we did with the E, we're going to go down to the below 1 fret below the A note, go up to the A, pluck each note individually, and then picky. What's the goal here? Basically, this is just, they're kind of like exercises, but these are melodic exercises. I learned this from a jazz pianist on YouTube for coming up with better melodic ideas, particularly in jazz. So this is a bebop thing that I've turned into, you know, we're not really bebopping too much here, but I've turned it into an exercise and a way to kind of get really familiar with a scale. And you can do this with every scale. There we go. So yeah, it's just a kind of a way we've been just doing this for the last few weeks, and essentially it's something I'm working on, so we're working on it together. It's just like when we did bluegrass. Um, oh no, I appreciate you, John. Good to see you. So hopefully that answers your question. um, so. And it probably explains the little bit of swing that I'm putting on the part. Okay, so again, let's go to play the C, E, and the other thing too, that's just naturally happening is you're maybe starting to learn your fretboard up here at the 8th fret, 7th fret, which is a little bit difficult to learn this area of the fretboard. The notes on it. It's like, oh, okay, I can get all the way to the 5th fret, and then it's just like no man's land here for as far as knowing the notes or reading the notes. We're also learning chord theory and harmony and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff you're learning without really realizing that you're learning it, okay? And if there's something you don't understand, don't stress it. There's no quiz on any of this. But what may happen is if after a couple lessons, you might start to go, oh, wait, that's the 7th. Or, oh, I get it. You can go another and get the 9th. Light bulbs will start to come on if you're kind of a newbie to music theory. In other words, if you're not Sam. Oh, hi, Sam. Okay, so we got the C, E, leading tone into the C, okay, and then leading tone into the D to do D, F, leading tone into the E, leading tone into the F. We got that. And like I said, that's really cool. I mean, that even just sounds cool over the C major. It's got this now here's where I'm going to analyze it, so this will make Sam happy. But if I were to analyze every note that I just played over that C chord, it'd be the 3rd, the 4th, the 6th, the sharp 4 or flat 5, but sharp 4 is kind of a very common thing to add to a major 7th chord. Again, no quiz on any of this, so don't worry if you don't understand this. To the 5th, to the 6th, and then 7th, and from the 7th I can go up to the 8, which is the root. So resolve it. Or I could go down to the 6. Okay, I could even do this over C7 chord, but you would change the G to a G minor. Okay, so and I think we even talked about it, like you could do something crazy, like because we're from dyads, we're going to triads, and we're going to go to the 7th chords. You could alternate between being dyads and 7th chords and stuff, and so I could go. Where I'm alternating between dyads, triads, and 7th chords. And now you're really kind of onto an exercise or a pattern that sounds really random, which is kind of nice. And a lot of times, oh yeah, sorry, I did switch guitars. All right, so let's start again. Here's the dyad C to E 2-note chord. Lead into it by half step. B, C, E, C sharp, D, F, D sharp, E, G, E, F, A, F sharp, G, B, G sharp, C, G sharp, A, C, A sharp, B, D, B, C. And then we go on to E. Then we go, then we're going to go. Okay, so we're going to go 6th fret, 7th fret, 10th fret. And that's the D minor. There's the dyad. Okay, then we're going to do second finger to third finger to second finger. And there's our dyad, and here's our leading tone. That's a nice one too. So we did the majors, the E to F, the F to G. Now we can do, what was it? D minor. We got the D dyad here, the E minor dyad. So let's hear what that's. They're all kind of, you can think of them as starters. They're all melodic starters. I don't know that I would do a whole solo where I'm just, right? But it's a way to kind of start or to go between chords and without necessarily having to think what you're playing over. So like if I put the whole progression in here, to me, a lot of those, that's a Charlie Parker lick. I mean, a lot of them are very, very early bebop kind of vibes. And so I'm more using them as a starter. And I'm playing, other than the leading tones, I'm playing completely diatonic, but it sounds like I'm a lot more out than I am. And the leading tones, because they're going so fast, you're getting to the tone you're leading to. You don't really have to worry about, are they in the key, because they're not. Many of them are not going to be. Oh, and I've said no quiz so many times already. You guys, I mean, you should all be plastered by now, or amped up, or taking bathroom breaks, which I can't do. I think I've done it once, right, where I was like, you guys, I gotta go. Yeah, right, exactly. I wouldn't necessarily call it a trick or a silver bullet or magic bullet, but it kind of is. I think the ultimate kind of the silver bullet aspect of it is it helps you play into that thing that I know Sam have a hard time doing, and that's not over analyzing what I'm doing. I told you this just a couple weeks ago, if not last week, probably many times, when I met Steve Lukather for the first and pretty much only time I ever met him. But he was kind of one of my idols growing up as a kid, and he's not much older than me, which is part of the reason why I idolized him. I'm like, dang, he was doing sessions at 15. I was still in Indiana at 21 or 20. I turned 21 in Indiana, and I was so depressed. I actually got depressed when I turned 20. I didn't get depressed when I turned 30 or 40 or 50 or 60. Or I'm not 70 yet, but soon. But I didn't really, that didn't bother me. It was turning 20, and no offense to Indiana, but I was still in Indiana and I wanted to be in Los Angeles. And so, and Lukather, Rittenauer, Carlton, they were all doing sessions when they were in their teens. And it was, for me, that was just a bummer because I felt like I was way behind. Like I should have been doing sessions and all that stuff. So that's my personal story. All right. So that said, when I met Lukather, he said, well, I'm going to tell you what Larry Carlton told me. So I'm getting advice from two of my idols. He said, don't think, play. And this kind of falls into that because I'm like so often I'll watch these jazz musicians and they will be playing so freaking fast. And every note's perfect. And I'm like, how are they thinking that fast? And they really aren't. I mean, for one thing, it's the only thing they do. The best at anything is they're pretty much, that's their one genre. I mean, Julian Lange, or however you say his name, he can do a lot of genres very well. He's one of the few, but he's actually really good at bluegrass and he's really good at bebop or jazz. And to me, those are really wow. I didn't know that was one of the things. Let's see. Reactions. What are they? No, okay, I have it on. Huh. I had no idea that was going to happen. And it happened behind me. So is it the 2 thumbs up? What is it? The 1 thumbs up? No, that would just be a thumbs up. Or the heart. I do the heart. Okay, there it goes. Anyway. But yeah, for the most part, these players, they're not thinking while they're playing particularly that fast. They're thinking melodically. They're trying to create melodies. They're trying to say something, but they're in the zone. And I love being in the zone. The best session players can especially, you've got 2 types of moments in sessions. You're either being asked to read or you're being asked to react. So the best players, when you're reading, it's not really you got to stay kind of in the focus zone. But when you're being asked to react or solo or improvise or fill or whatever, it's just a great place to be in a zone where you're not really thinking about what's happening so much as you're just reacting to it, and then you're playing, you're playing things that you played before. Here's what's crazy about being in the zone. Often when you're in the zone, you'll play something you've never played before, and you'll be like, okay, that was crazy. It just just channeled through you. And that's one of the best places to be. When I'm improvising or whatever, and I'm kind of just giving into what that moment is, and I'm trying to get in the zone. Maybe trying is the bad thing to do. Just get in the zone. Don't try, do, right? Be Yoda. No try, do, or whatever he said. What did Yoda say on that? Okay, so again, the dyads. Okay, now the triads. So the way we create a triad is we take 3 notes, but we skip a note every time. So we go, instead of C, D, E, we go C, E, G. So we went C, skipped D, went to E, skip F, go to G. Okay? And so we get this holy, holy, holy major triad. Okay, if we go to the next note in the scale, we go D, D, F, A. We get D, F, A, and that's a minor triad. All right? And so this is where we get triad theory. We'll realize that when we start on the first note, the 4th note of the scale, and the 5th note of the scale, we'll end up with major triads. On the 2nd note, the 3rd note, and the 6th note of the scale, we'll get minor triads. And on the 7th note of the scale, we'll get a diminished triad. So I could put numbers under these, but I don't know that they would line up. I wish they would, but they won't. There might be a way to do that, but I could create I've done it before, to have the numbers and the letters all line up. It's basically you create a grid, and then you make the grid invisible. So, kind of like an Excel doc or something. But yeah, so that's what's happening. there. So if we think of the scale in terms of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, then that's what I'm talking about. The 1 chord, the 4 chord, the 5 chord are all major triads. The 2 chord, the 3 chord, and the 6 chord are all minor triads. So it'll reveal itself as we make them here. So C, E, G, and I'm going 2, 1, 4 as far as fingers. And then I'm going to go 4, 2, 1 on adjacent strings for the D minor. Then for the E, E, G, B. E, G, B. Again, if you look at that, I'm going E, skipping F, go to G, skip A, go to B. There's a triad, and that happens to be an E minor triad. And then do or do not. There is no try. Thank you. That's what it is. It's not quite what I was saying, was it? Okay, so kind of like what I was saying. So on the F, we go F, skip G, go to A, skip B, go to C. Okay, and then if I go to G, G, skip A, go to B, skip C, go to D. Okay, then I got A. Again, you should be starting to learn some of the notes at this at this position. Okay, God bless you, Bob. Lord, we lift up Bob and his wife, and we just pray for a very good meeting with a surgeon, and pray that it happens and it solves any problems, Lord. Amen. Okay, so you can pray with your eyes open. I do it when I'm driving all the time, especially in LA. Are you kidding? I mean, when I'm stuck in traffic, what else am I going to do? I lift a lot of you guys up in prayer all the time, just so you know. I wouldn't call myself a prayer warrior. My wife is a prayer warrior. That's why I have a career. She's like, please, Lord, I want to live in a house now. She never said that, not once. I said it, but she never insisted on it, or I'd be working for UPS. Okay, so now we get these triads and we go. Let's see, where were we? A, C, E, and then we go to B. Here's B at the third finger on the fourth string. B, and then we have D. Skip E, go to F, and there's our diminished. Kind of scary. Okay, and then we have C, E, G again. So that's just here. Probably would normally play that like this. Okay, but we're going to play with these three fingers because we're staying positional. We're keeping the first finger assigned to the 7th fret and so on and so forth. Okay, there's that triad. Then we have another, then we're going to D, and then we have D, skip E, go to F, skip G, go to A. And that one's a little hard because we got to lay down the pinky. Okay, and then we're going to have E, G, B, which is really an easy one and very pretty. Okay. Okay, and there's our E. And then our F, we can lay down like this, just to stay positional, meaning we're assigning fingers to frets. So we have 10th fret, 10th fret, 8th fret. That means pinky, pinky, second finger. Just making sure. Okay. I started right on time, didn't I, today? Feels like I've been going for a long time, but it's just now 10 o'clock. I'm trying to save my coffee, but it's almost gone. Okay, so I'm saying just do it like this, just because I'm mean. That's the only reason I'm saying do it like that. Okay, then we have G, skip A, B, skip C, go to D, and that's another. You can hear that major triad. It's happy, right? Oh, Kathy, gotta go. Oh, go teach. I should take a course with you. And then we have the F, A, C, G, B, D, and then we'll just end on the C there. Okay? So those are the triads. I'm going to play them slowly here for you. C, D, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, C major, D minor, E minor, F, G. Okay, now that's one of the exercises over here. See, dyads, we did that. Triads, that's what we're doing now. And then we lead chromatically on those. So we take, and when you play those, like I said last week, when you play those, it's not easy because when you just play the triads, because you've got a lot of cross fingering, meaning you're playing a note on the 10th fret here, and then you got to play another note on the 10th fret, the next note. So it kind of requires you to do that kind of, I call it a finger roll thing, where you kind of, instead of playing the note below with the tip of your finger, you play it more with the meat of your finger, and then you roll to the tip. So I'm playing, and it's with your pinky. It's like, one thing if it was your second finger or third finger, first finger, but with the pinky, it's like really hard, okay? But for the most part, this is not the exercise, okay? The triads are not the exercise. The triads are the pathway to the exercise. Oh, bye, Sadie. Sadie's like, I can't apply this to my daily life. Okay. So we're not doing the triads. We're doing the triads with the lead in. So it ends up being a 4-note pattern, and more interesting than the triads, but and a little bit easier because of the lead-ins, we're not necessarily having to roll any fingers. We might there. That's the hard one. All that's done with the first finger. I'm on the 7th fret with my first finger on the 4th string. Then go down to the 5th string, down a fret, the 6th fret, and then up to 7. Same thing there with the G. Okay. And it's not easy. You can always tell if I'm raising my eyebrows, it's hard. If I'm opening my eyes really wide, it's hard. It's hard for me, just so you know. I'm sure you've noticed that the entire time we've been doing it. And I told you this before too. I feel like your countenance, your face helps your hands. It's the weirdest thing. But I noticed it recently, like a couple of years ago, watching YouTube videos, and you see these little punk blank kids that can play like insanely fast. They're doing some bluegrass thing or some banjo thing really fast. And I noticed that they all look bored. I'm like, dang, if I were playing like that, I would be like, whoa, look what I'm doing, you know. But they're like, oh, whatever. I'm so bored. I hate what I'm doing. You know, they just look like that. And I'm like, wait a minute. That's connected. You know how they say if you smile, it makes you happier? Even if you're not happy, if you smile. It's like, I'm fake smiling right now. If you're trying to play fast, one of the things that I would recommend you do is to look bored. In other words, it's your resting bee face, okay? Just whatever your face, relax, start there, and then that filters down into your body, which you can't really play fast unless you're relaxed. If you tense up, it's going to hurt. You're going to play slower. You're going to play sloppier. So it's, hey, what's going on? Oh, Dennis, what's going on? I hate that we can't see names. So is that a permanent change that Google did? I'll have to do some research on. I'll forget. As soon as I log off and get to work, I'll totally forget that I was wanting to do that. But oh, hey, Lan, what's going on? So the great thing about So back to the playing the exercise. So it's a little bit easier with the leading tones than it is with just the triads. Okay. So let me take you through the triads with the leading tones. I'll do it one time, it's kind of pseudo slow, but it's something that you can totally write out by yourself on tab if you want, or you can write out in music notation, or just the letter names, whatever works for you. In fact, I would suggest maybe all three. Crazy, I know. But if you did tab and then just the letter names or just the number names, you could even do, you could write 7, 1, 3, 5. You could write sharp 1, 2. You could do that any way you want to write it. But if you wrote it every way, then you're going to have a more broad understanding. Your understanding is going to go from like this to this, or you're going to see something. You're going to see it from here, and then you're going to see it from here, and you're going to see it from over here, and then you're going to see it from over here. And that's how I teach generally on live stream. If I were teaching private lessons to you, I would try to figure out how you learn. What way do you learn the fastest, and teach you that way. You see what I'm saying? What I'm doing here is I'm trying to teach kind of multiple ways, coming at things differently. I guess there's 8 ways we learn, and schools only use 2 of them, 1 or 2 of them. Back when I was in schools, you had to memorize everything. It was just like, ugh. So, yeah. So let me do this real quick, the triads with the leading tones. So it'd be 1, 2, 1, 4, 3, 4, 2, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, let me give you frets. Okay. 7, 8, 7, 10, 9, 10, 8, 7, 6, 7, 10, 9. And you could replay this, I guess, to get it. Then we have 7, 8, 7, 10, 9, 10, 9, 7, 6, 7, 10, 9, 8, 9, 7, 10, 9, 10, 8. I'm sorry, 9, 10, 9, 8. As I see me. Then we have 6th fret. Then to the 7th fret, 10, 10. Okay. And that would be the D minor. Here's the E minor. So we have, what was that? 8, 9, 8, 7. Then we have the F major. We have the 9, 10, 10, 8. That's very pretty. It's yeah, that would be crazy to play this. Try to play it with. I'm trying to, anytime an open string can be used, I'm using it. Sorry, that was like my own little my own science experiment. Okay, and then we have, basically the last one's going to be the G triad with the leading tone. So we have 7, 8, 7, 10. Yeah, I love licks that use open strings. Almost went to a G chord there. Could do it up for G. All right, so what's going on here? What's the last time we had a troll pop in? I'm feeling like we beat them all and haven't seen them in ages. Oh, great. Now you said something. I mean, technically, Sam's a troll. I'm only saying it because you're there. How many people do we have? Well, we got up to 27, and we've been up there pretty high. Now we're in the 20s. Okay, all right, not bad. How did I get the fireworks? What was that? Oh, there it goes. Look at that. So 2 thumbs up means fireworks? Huh. Oh, it did it again. And it does it behind me. Technology. All right, so we've done basically 2/3 of the exercises. We did the diads, leading toe diads. We did the triads. Okay, if I'm making stinky faces, it's because it's hard. Okay, and then we did the leading toe triads. Notice I'm swinging it. I don't have to swing it, but I'm swinging it because it's probably how this is going to get used. And again, you could do this. You could do this anyway. However you want to finger it. You could do this in any position scale. We're just using this one because it's kind of centered around this E form major chord. Okay. All right, so now the sevenths. So again, the way we make a seventh chord is we take start on any note. In this case, C. Skip a note, E, skip a note, B. Skip a note G, skip a note B. So we skipped the D, F, A. We skipped a minor triad. And that's Color My World, right? Okay. And so I'm playing 8th fret on the bottom string, then 7th fret, 10th fret, and then 9th fret. And then for the D minor, 7 arpeggio, I'm going to play 10th fret on the bottom string, and then 8th fret, 7th fret, 10th fret, D minor 7. It's hard to see my fingers, I'm sure, where I'm placing my fingers. Then we have E minor, 7 arpeggio. So it's 7th, 10th, 9th, 7th. We're going to do the F major 7 arpeggio, which is going to be 8, 7, 10, 9. Oh, we have another country heard from. Oh, you know what, Sam, that's probably right. Maybe other people. We haven't had troll problem in a while, though, so Europe's not a country. Well, I mean, is Holland a country? Or is it the Netherlands? Or is it Dutch people? Are you Hollandaise? Are you Netherlanders? Or are you Dutch? I'm so confused. When I was there, I never knew what to say. Fortunately, everybody in Amsterdam spoke English. Or most everybody. We were fine. Cousins across the pond, exactly. Okay, so where was I? F major 7, G. Okay, so G7 is going to be 10th fret on the 5th string, then 9th fret, 7th fret. So it's G, B, D, F. Again, the way you make that, you play G, skip a note, B, skip a note, D, skip a note, F. That's how you make 7th chords. No quiz on this. Take a sip. But that's really, like, for some of you, that might be like, whoa, a light bulb just went off. Okay, and that's how 7th chords are created. Just a little spoiler alert. 9th chords would be just do it again. So G 9th would be G, B, D, F, skip G, A, and that would be a G9. But that's how you arrive at the notes contained in a G 9th chord. All right. And then we have A minor 7, so we're going to start on the 7th fret of the 4th string, then the 10th fret, then the 9th fret, and then the 8th fret. Then we're going to do B diminished, and this is B half diminished. Don't worry about that, no quiz on it. So we have, oh sorry, I should give you the frets here. 7, 10, oh I did, 7, 10, 9, 8. Okay, then 9, 7, 10, 10. Now that's a weird one, okay? It feels weird, but actually when it comes to playing these arpeggios and using them, it's actually one of the cooler ones. So like over this progression, it's just a A minor, D minor to G7. It's actually one of the cooler ones of all of them. So it's kind of it kind of creates the most tension, and the resolution therefore sounds really cool. So could you recommend some artists I could check out in this type of music? Yeah, you could check out. I mean, I really like. So you're looking at bebop. You could check out Charlie Parker, who's my favorite. Oops, Charlie Parker. Wes Montgomery would be a guitar player. And Wes Montgomery would be a rabbit hole because you'll be like, oh my gosh, it's so good. And he played with his thumb. But his thumb, I think, his tone, his thumb is so calloused, it just was like a pick. But he probably either kept dropping picks or he couldn't afford a pick. And he's from Indianapolis too. You know, I'm not that I, so, let's see, who else? Charlie Parker, Wes Montgomery, Miles, maybe a little bit, but, you know, of course, John Coltrane. I'm trying to think if George Benson does it much. He does, but he doesn't really, he's not like a bebop. I would say like someone like Pat Martino might be, if you're looking for guitar players. I really like Joe Pass, but I'm not sure. He does more solo guitar stuff. So what Joe Pass will do is he'll do stuff like he'll play let's see. You know, so like someday my prince will come, so it'll be like F major to A7 augmented, B flat, major 7 with a sharp 11 to D7. So he might do something. I don't know. I'm not a Joe Pass aficionado per se, but he would do something like play a chord, Then he'd finally go, you know, he would do, like play the F, the first chord with the melody. And then we'd do some of and then he'd go to the second chord. Shoot. No, what would you do? I don't know. I'm just goofing around, but kind of in the Joe Pass style. But he would play a chord and then like a lick and then a chord, and you'd hear the melody through it all, but it was never like pure. He would do that too. Play the straight. It's a great melody. It's a great melody. The melody's great. The harmony's great. It's just, it's almost like the perfect song. That's why it's been covered so much. Let's see, who else can you, anybody? Anyway, yeah, it's and the thing is, I think you could transfer. This could totally work for bluegrass. I think it could work for. It could work for rock or blues. I mean, I definitely think a lot of the things are happening. Like I said, I could I could put a B flat in here, so flat the B, boom, and then we end up with a C Mixolydian scale, and then I could do the sorry. I could practice that as well. I could also take this same scale and sharp the F and create a Lydian scale. And no quiz on this, but Sam knows what I'm talking about. And I could I could do. My eyebrows are raising. So like if I just went back to the C major chord, like I could play this. I don't know if this is, it's just a C major chord. So I don't know if this is C major or C Lydian. It could be either one. Both of them have a major third and a major seventh in it. So I could approach it like a Lydian. Okay, and so what I'm doing there, just so you know, I'm taking that major seventh arpeggio, and I'm anticipating it with the leading tone. So the first note is C, E, G, B, right? which would be in C Lydian. So even if I had an F sharp here, it wouldn't change that the root chord would still be a C major 7th chord. Even if there was an F sharp there, we're skipping the F regardless of whether it's F or F sharp. C, E, G, B. But then if I do that, I'm telling you that we're in a Lydian. So check this out. Go to the so with 9th fret, 4th string, 10th fret, 9, 8, 7. That feels really good because it's just this diagonal chord. Okay, and then we're going to go down. We're going to go down on the B string. We're going to go 10, 8, 7, and we're going to end up on that major 7. I'm sorry, on the sharp 11. Or you could think of it as a sharp 4. If I were to write a chord, though, C major 7, sharp 11, I wouldn't write C major 7, sharp 4. I would write C major 7, sharp 11. And there's a reason for that. We're not going to get into that, but there's a reason for that. Okay? Oh my gosh, yeah, the Dodgers. Oh yeah, and the Japanese players all want to play for the Dodgers too. It's so funny. They just, I guess, because we're like us in Seattle are like the closest to Japan, so they can get home quick. But it's funny because Otani lives in the little town that my wife teaches in. They don't have kids yet. They just got, well, they do have a kid. They have a daughter, but they just got married like a year and a half ago, and they had a baby like a couple months ago or something. No. They've been married like 2 years. I forget. They did it in the right order. I ran the math. And his wife, I mean, they're adorable. His wife, she's, God bless him, he married a tall girl because he's like 6'4". I mean, that's insanely rare for a Japanese, you know. When I went to Japan, I'm only 5'11", and I pretty much could see over everybody walking around the busy streets and things like that. It was like, yeah, I was definitely tall. So he was a big baby, and his wife I think is 5'11" or something. And I know with tall girls, if we have any tall girls here, you know they hate it when tall boys date short girls. They just hate it. Alex's wife is I think 14 inches shorter than him. Jack's wife she's like 5'8". Both my boys are 6'4". So that's because I'm 5'11" and my wife's 5'10", so I dated a tall girl. And so and her dad was 6'8", so we had, you know, the boys are really tall. My daughter wanted to be taller, but she must have got it from my side of the family. I think she's 5'6". She wanted to be 5'8", but it's a good thing she wasn't because she'd be taller than her husband if she was 5'8". So, yeah, Yamamoto, I mean, it's unbelievable the fact that he, you know, pitched a complete game in the series before and then pitched it in the World Series and then got 2 more wins. I mean, he has to be the first pitcher to get 3 wins in the World Series. I mean, for one thing, to get that, you'd have to go to 7 games, pretty much. Has anyone else gotten won 3 games as a pitcher in the World Series? That's a question for chat. Yeah. Yep. Oh, if he 3-inch longer. I think if it was 3 millimeters long, he literally was a millimeter difference between that, or if he left sooner. You know, it's just like it was crazy. It was freaking insane. And I literally said, "Oh, Dodgers have lost this. They're going to lose 7 times in that one game." I thought, there's no way they're going to pull it. Just like the game before. There was no way they had runners on 3rd and 2nd and no outs. Bottom of the 9th, it was like the bottom of the 8th or whatever it was, and the Dodgers got out of it. I thought, there's no way they're going to win this game. And they did. Yep. And that was a little weird. That was game 6, that's right. Yeah, the ball falls, and yep. There were so many moments like that. Even like it was Alex Rodriguez who was announcing afterwards. He was saying it was the best game he'd ever seen, and not to mention the fact that like in the 18-inning game, which was an insane game, Otani got on base 9 times. Now he had 2 homers and 2 doubles, which is that in itself is insane. Was he pitching in that game? I can't remember. No, he wasn't pitching that game. Or maybe he did. Did he come in as a reliever? He may have come in as a reliever. And then he got 4 balls, and then he got intentionally walked 4 times. So technically he was 9 for 9. And that has happened apparently one other time in the World Series, or maybe one other time in the majors, but that's just insane. Yeah. Yeah, 5 walks, yeah. But one was, I think, and here's the thing, the Dodgers, okay, I'm done. I'm done playing guitar. The Dodgers, like, I feel like their MO has always been, at least through the last few years, has been to sit on pitchers, you know. You can't really necessarily intentionally hit foul balls. I mean, I remember watching World Series games where the it's a full count and the batter hits like 10 foul balls in a row. You can't. It's just like, oh my God, you know. You're thinking, oh, he hit. Oh, it's a pop out. Nope, it's a home run. Nope, it's foul. It's like, it's. I was talking to someone on Tuesday after the Tuesday game. The Dodgers lost that one, and I was at an event, and I was talking to a guy, and he was just saying how baseball is a perfect game. He said apparently when they were trying to determine, so I guess so. We got math whizzes here, I'm sure, but. So the 90 feet, you know, from home plate to first base, second base, third base, home plate. The exact middle would be 60 feet, correct? But they put the rubber at 60 feet, 6 inches. And the reason was, apparently they experimented with the placement of the rubber. They placed it at 60 feet, 4 inches, just 2 inches closer to home plate. And batters couldn't get a hit. Pitchers were plummeted. They just couldn't get hits. They put it at 60 feet, 8 inches, and pitchers couldn't get outs. It was like the batters were hitting everything. There is something about the velocity of the ball or something. It was like, it's just the perfect distance with that extra 6 inches. And I think the geometry of it would be that naturally the exact middle between first base and third base, and home plate and second base would be 60 feet. But they added those 6 inches, and it's like crazy. Yeah, to lose 2 at home to finish off the series is crazy. And LA is not a very good traveling team. I'm not saying they don't play well on the road, but LA fans don't generally follow their team around. I mean, so I went to the Rams-Colts game. I showed you that picture of the guy sitting right in front of me. And there weren't that many Colts fans. I would say maybe 10 to 15% Colts fans there. But if the Chiefs come to play when the Chiefs come to play the Chargers, it'll be 50% Chiefs fans. It's ridiculous. Or if the Raiders, when they're in town, it'll be 50% Raiders fans. And if you go to Vegas and the Rams or the Chargers are playing in Vegas, there won't be any Rams fans there. It's like the Rams. It's something about, I think our weather's just too good, and we don't really care about sports so much. Like a Chiefs fan, what else do they got to root for? They live in Kansas City, you know. It's like, well, you know, and that's such an egotistical thing for me to say. But you know, I've been to I saw the Dodgers play the Mets, and there were, you know, it was 30% Mets fans, because there's all these, and it's not even people flying from New York, but that's what happens. Like, particularly in football, you'll have people come out here to see games. It doesn't happen in basketball. NBA doesn't do it, but football and baseball, you'll have people fly out. Oh, hey, let's go to, you know, hey, the Royals are playing the Dodgers. Let's go see a couple games, and we can go to Disneyland, blah, blah, blah. They go to the beach, blah, blah, you know, take a vacation, and they'll show up. But when the Mets fans, like, you know, because there are so many transplants in LA, people stay loyal to their home teams where they're from, right? Which is generally true, and I respect that. That I respect. My dad, huge baseball fan. He knew it. He played baseball. He got drafted by the Cardinals in 1949. Not drafted, but he got scouted by the Cardinals, and then they offered him a spot on a farm club, but it didn't really pay anything. Probably back then it was $20 a week or something. But he knew everything, and so he moved around quite a bit. When he lived in California for a while, when he lived in San Francisco, he was a Giants fan. When he moved to Gulfport to retire, he became a Braves fan because there basically was, at the time, probably the closest team. When the hurricane, he lost everything in Katrina 20 years ago, crazy. He moved to Connecticut to be near my sister, and he became a Red Sox fan. I mean, he cherry picked, right? He could have been a Mets fan. He could have been a Yankees fan. I don't think he ever would have been a Yankees fan. But he lived in New York. I don't know. Maybe he was. But when he grew up in Chicago, he was a Cubs fan. Now that I think about it, I think he was more of a White Sox fan, which is rare. White Sox fans are pretty rare. It's like being, was that O negative or something? I just found out my blood type, which is crazy. I never knew it. Oh. Yeah, and it's just like I hate going to seeing a team and now see, so my dad would change who he rooted for based on where he lived, and again I respect that. The thing I don't respect is growing up in the '70s, all my friends were they were Steeler fans. I'm like, wait a minute, we don't live in Pittsburgh. We have the Colts, we had the Bears. We didn't have much in Indianapolis. We had the Bengals, but everybody was either a Cowboys fan or they were a Steelers fan. In other words, they were rooting for a team that was probably going to win. And I'm like, well, I mean, that's kind of cheating. And so now we have all these Kansas City fans. So a lot of the times you see a lot of red shirts. Well, in LA, there are a ton of Kansas City fans. Why? Because they've been to 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls. And very likely they're going to another one. I mean, I just, although they did lose yesterday, that was fun. I enjoyed that game. Sorry for any Kansas City fans out there, but I just, I was ambivalent about the Patriots until they won their 3rd Super Bowl, and then I was just like, I rooted for everybody except the Patriots. Here's the deal: the Dodgers won 2 in a row, right? I'm not rooting for the Dodgers next year. I don't want them to win the whole thing. And it's pretty rare. I mean, the last time somebody won 2 in a row, they won 3 in a row, and that was the Yankees. Packer fans, live in Chicago, that's, there are a lot of Packer fans, and I'm not even sure why. Is it because the Packers have won more Super Bowls. Interesting fact I saw yesterday, apparently Bart Starr was 27 when he won his Super Bowl with the Packers. He won 2. But Brett Favre was 27 when he won his Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers was 27 when he won his Super Bowl. And again, neither one of those players won Super Bowls ever again, right? Brett only won 1 and Aaron only won 1. Well, Jordan Love is 27 this year. So if he were a rock star, he'd have to be on suicide watch. But since he's a Packers quarterback, he's on Super Bowl watch. Oh, nice. I didn't. Yeah. Well, and I my understanding is the Japanese baseball teams are really pretty good. At some point, it would be fun to do a real World Series. I mean, technically, this was a World Series. The Expos. How long have the Blue Jays been around? I mean, I can't remember them not being around. Were they another team before they were the Blue Jays? The Expos moved to Washington. See, the first baseball game I ever went to was the Washington Senators at RFK Stadium back in like 1969 or something like that. My dad took me to that game, and I remember they were playing the Cardinals, and Boog Powell was playing back then, I think. So I remember that. I'm 8 years old. I remember a guy named Boog. Um, the Loveless will not be winning on his 27th. Oh, yeah. I don't think so. I don't think the Packers. I mean, I don't know. I mean, certainly they added uh, Micah Parsons, and he's been a good ad. Boog Powell, yeah. You remember Boog Powell? Just the name alone, it's awesome. Um, I'm assuming that was a nickname, right? Boog Powell, John Wesley Boog Powell, yeah. John Wesley. Oh, that's interesting. He was named, maybe named for the born in Lakeland, Florida, in 41. Oh, he's still alive. Wow. He played for that city's team in 54 Little League Worlds. Oh, in the 54 Little League World Series. So he was actually in the Little League World Series when he was 13 years old. That's really cool. Moved to Key West when he was 15. Played at Key West High School. Graduated in 59. Led Key West to a state championship. He got the nickname from his father. In the South, they called little kids who are often getting into mischief buggers, pronounced boogers. And my dad shortened it to Boog. Interesting. He signed with the Orioles as an amateur free agent. Played with the Orioles. Yeah, so he played a long time with the Orioles, 13 years with the Orioles, a couple years with the Indians, and then Dodgers in 77. Interesting. Huh. I had no idea he finished up his career with LA. I mean, I know people that still call the Dodgers the Brooklyn Dodgers. They're that old. And that was a very sad day for Brooklyn. That's why last year's World Series was kind of cool, because it was kind of like the Dodgers and the Yankees, you know, old school. Well, you're a kid, AJ. That's crazy. I had no idea. Yes. Oh, Dodger Dynasty must come to pass. You want to see that third World Series. I mean, it's going to be, they're a hard team to beat, but 162 games is a long game. They almost didn't make the playoffs. I mean, they had to play into the playoffs, did they not? And I think they were pretty unstoppable in those, obviously in the NCLS, what is it called? The National League, NLCS, National League champion. I think they won 4-0, right? They won 4-0. Oh, you're only moths apart. Trolley Dodgers. Yep. Oh, it's crazy. My son Alex and I were talking about, well, we were talking about the NFL and the names. And, you know, I'm sorry, but I'm still a Redskins fan. Redskin was never, you would never name your team a derogatory term. It'd be like, oh, let's call our teams the Seattle Pantywastes. You know, it's like, no, it was a fierce term. It was a term of respect. The designer of the logo was a Native American. If you pulled Native Americans, it was probably their favorite football team, because it was like they could root for it. It's like, it's you know, it's crazy. So anyway, I mean, that could be a politically charged thing here, but I'm not trying to do that. I'm just like, in my head, they'll always be the Redskins. I think the Commanders is kind of a bad name. If I'm not mistaken, the Commanders was the name of the troop that General Custer had. So the Commanders killed a bunch of Indians. It's like, what? Why would you name your team the Commanders? I actually prefer the Washington Football Club. I think that would be the best name. I mean, in Europe and in England, they almost don't even have this issue, because the teams are named for and it's not like Washington's going to get a second NFL team. So you could totally use football club. I'd almost be fine with that. In fact, I'd be fine with most teams doing that. But, you know, you don't, name your team after something you don't respect. You want to name something, you know. But Commanders, I don't even know what that's supposed to represent. So anyway, I'm old school. And my wife has some native. She's part Blackfoot Indian, and it never offended her. But she doesn't even. I don't even know if she knows what family member she got that from. So, but a lot of Americans in their DNA have Native American blood in them. So, just from years of being on the continent. So, but we were watching this video of all of the NFL teams. It was like a 30-minute video, and it was all the NFL teams starting from like the very beginning, and they were all clustered in the Midwest. I mean, Dayton had a team, and Chicago had like 2 teams, and Detroit, and all these little towns had teams, NFL teams. But every year it would be like 4 of them would go away, and 6 new ones would show up, and then 4 of them would go away, and 2 new ones would show up. And it was like the NFL got down to 16 or 8 teams at one point, and you know, and it slowly kept expanding. It finally started going out east, and then started to go west, and then started to go south. It was just like, it was interesting how it took a while for it to expand. And baseball was kind of the same thing. I mean, you have the Giants and the Dodgers that are both from New York, but New York has 2 teams as well. They have the Mets and they have the Yankees. And so it's like, imagine if you still had 4 New York teams and no LA teams. So Indiana's angry that LA got Tom. Yeah. I don't think Indiana cares. Indiana hasn't noticed I'm left yet. I've been gone for 40 plus years, and they're like, huh? Who? My band was upset when I quit my band, though. But other than that, and my mom cried when I left. My sister, too. So, yeah. Let's see. What else? Anyone watch the Rhett Shull Driftwood Guitars revamping 300 Tech Mini guitar? Huh. Yeah, no, I haven't done. You know, did he do custom work on it? Because you know, to take my $99 Justin Bieber Squire here. Zero. I did 2 things to it. I took the knob off. Okay. And I can explain that. And then I wrote my name on it. So it's the only thing I've done to this. Heck, for the first 5 years, I don't think I changed strings. I feel like to put money, I could, what if I put really nice pickups in? No, actually, what I like about this is the fact the pickups sound crappy. It's the reason I grabbed the guitar, if I want that really thin sound. And because I want that thin sound, the thing that I tend to do a lot on this guitar is I go out of phase. I go like position 2 or 4 on the thing, and I'm doing. So I'm muting and kind of like. Kind of that 80s Michael Jackson kind of vibe. I think Lukather did it a lot, Rittenauer did it, but Paul Jackson Jr. did it a lot. But what happens when I do that, I was hitting the volume knob and I was slowly knocking it down, right? Because it's got these little like ridges on it, and I was slowly turning down the volume, and it would get about this quiet because I don't have any sound. It would start getting quiet. I'm like, what's wrong with this guitar? And then I realized, I turned the knob down. So that's why I take on my main strats, I take this knob off so that I don't accidentally turn the volume down. So, yeah. But that guitar's made me a lot of money, and it only cost $99. So return on investment has been great on that guitar. This one, not so much. I paid a lot of money for this guitar. But it sounds exactly like it's supposed to sound. So it's got. I didn't realize it was such a long scale too. I think from here to here it was 27 inches or something. which I'm looking to get a better 7-string guitar maybe before the end of the year for tax purposes. I've got my 7-string Ibanez that I got like for $400. It actually is working fine. I'm not getting any complaints, but one of the things I wouldn't mind doing. Oh, G&L went bust, really? They're no longer. Oh no. Huh. G and L guitars. Let's see if they have a Wikipedia. And that was George and Leo. Well, they still have a website. Huh. Born 66, yeah. Those Music Man amps actually aren't that bad. They were basically like the dream Fender Deluxe that he wanted to make. Huh. I mean, their address in Fullerton is probably prime real estate. So, all right. Oh, really? Walking? Oh, tours of LA. That's cool. I wouldn't mind doing some of those. I like we when we were in Ireland, Dublin, we did a literary pub crawl. I only had one Guinness, so we stopped at a lot of pubs, but there's no way. And it was the first night we were in. Beer doesn't give me a headache. Wine, man, wine. So we had our anniversary last week, our 38th on the 30th, and so Thursday night we went out to dinner. Went to a really nice restaurant, and got some red wine with dinner. What did Beth have? She got chicken, so she should have gotten white wine. But I don't really like white wine at all. I don't even really like red wine, but I like it better than white wine. Although I had a bottle of white wine, or I had some white wine a few weeks ago with my son's in-laws, and they're gourmet chefs, and we went to an Italian restaurant and had white wine. They ordered the white wine, and it actually wasn't bad. It didn't taste like Clorox. It's the first time I had white wine where it didn't taste like Clorox to me. And you're asking, how do I know what Clorox tastes like? Well, I know what it smells like, so I can make that transition in my mind. And so that's what most white wine tastes like to me, but this didn't do that. I don't like expensive champagne, but I don't mind cheap sparkling wine. Not cheap champagne, but cheap. It has to be. So LA, so YouTube channel. Sorry, let me check that out real quick. YouTube. All right, might get white here on a second. Nope, I have it set to dark mode. That's good. Okay. Rock Essentials with Tim. Oh, wait. Did I see this recently? I may have. Let me see if I subscribe to him, because no, I didn't. Lower Canyon. I may have watched one of his videos though. It's kind of cool though, like all these different searching for Glenn Campbell, it's kind of fun. I mean, he's not getting a lot of views, but not bad. He's almost to 100,000. I'll subscribe and help him out. With Tim P, not Tim Pierce though, a different Tim P. Yeah, so the the literary pub crawl in Dublin was cool because it was two actors and they acted out scenes from like James Joyce books and things like that. And then we went to another pub and we'd be generally get a drink and then stand outside and they'd talk and we go, you know, so on and so forth. And like I said, it was our first night and I wanted to have something for us to do the first night. So I pre-ordered the tickets so that we would not go to bed too early and it forced us to stay up. So it worked. I actually got a really good dinner that night too. I think we had sushi that night, and it was really, really good. Well, you're on an island, and you're on a port, so the fish is going to be fresh. But I think this fish is all imported from the Pacific, so it was phenomenal restaurant, and the music was great. It was like J-pop stuff, but it was like they played the same a couple records, and so it was the same artist for like 10 songs, and then another artist, and it was pretty good. And it wasn't too loud. I can't do loud restaurants because my hearing is not great, so it's just not fun. So, or clubs. I mean, it just depends. I'll go to clubs to see an artist, but I'm not going to a club to hang out. So, oh yeah. It's funny because I did a gig with Gillian Welch and Dave Rollins years ago. I was played in a band called Mercy Miles in Orange County, and we warmed them up at the Cannon Club. Not the Cannon Club, sorry. What's the name of the club down in San Juan Capistrano? I can't remember what it's called. But we played there a few times. That band had played there a few times, and they needed a warm-up act for Gillian Welch. And so we did it. And I wasn't really familiar. The leader of the Mercy Miles, he was a big fan. So I figured, well, if he likes them, they're probably good. And they were great. And it was just the two of them. And no, they had a bass player with them. And they just stood around one microphone. And they had one mic. And they just kind of, and when he was soloing, he would lean into it and stuff. And then he would, yeah, David Rollins is phenomenal. Oh, Gillian Welch is from LA. I did not know that. Let's go to the Boog Powell. Oh no, did I shut the Boog Powell page? No, I did not. Let's go to the wiki page there. And Gillian, where's the search window? Here. Oh, here it is. Gillian, born in 1967. But she was born in New York, lives in Tennessee. Oh, you're saying? Oh, are you saying I saw her in LA? Yeah. Yeah, she's great. I've got a few of her CDs, just through the years. Mainly, I'll be honest, mainly for David Rollins. I love his guitar that he found in the trash. He found it in a barn or something buried under a bunch of sawdust. It's crazy. Yeah, I just don't like noisy. I mean, I don't know. It just, you need, like, there's a P.F. Chang's in Pasadena we went to once, and I just couldn't go back. And I like P.F. Chang's, but it was way too noisy. That I like steak joints anyway, and steak joints tend to be quiet. You got a booth, and it's, you got that red leather booth going on, and it's carpeting and, quiet music. That's kind of my jam anyway. And this restaurant we went to on our anniversary wasn't quite like that. It has really it has old home cafeteria vibe, like an old folks home cafeteria vibes to it, which is crazy. But it's not busy, especially as early as we went to dinner that night. But because on a school night it's hard. She goes to bed at 8:30, so we can't do a late thing on school night. Yeah, my wife's a school teacher now. My wife's not in high school, no. So she looks like she is. So anyway, let's see. I will. So, next Monday I won't be here. I have a thing I have to do on Monday, speaking at a thing. So, it was the only time that worked for them. So, I don't think I'll do Tuesday, but who knows? I may check in later that week. Man, YouTube's not paying very well, and like I said, I haven't done many videos. So maybe I'll do a new video. I mentioned that I might do a video of my 5 favorite strumming grooves. That might make sense to do something like that, because again, kind of lean into the basics for the majority of my subscribers. I think that would be a good idea. So I tried to do a little promotion on this thing. I did Twitter. I did the Instagram. Well, I didn't do Instagram. I did Facebook, but it just didn't really. The last video, I'm not even at 300 views on that video. Let's see. Content. 401 views. So the previous videos, Dadgad. I did a Dadgad video. It got 576 views so far. The all-day string guitar got 1,200. Crazy Tuning's the Kodo guitar got 1,200. Just not enough to generate any income, really. So it makes it difficult to spend the time, especially the time it takes me to edit these things. Yeah, the total I've made on that Kodo guitar one is $5.61. I got 13 subscribers from it. That's kind of cool. The last video I've done that got show question. Oh no, exploring the pentatonic tuning. Okay, my new favorite tuning, and it's not even close, was that kind of my cello tuning, and that was 3,400. I think part of it is I probably don't name my videos provocatively enough, but I think it'll be pretty easy to name it. You know, my top 5 favorite. Okay, so some fun Dadgad progressions. That got 31,592 views, 51 comments, 99 point. So it's got 1,200 likes. Let's look at the analytics on that. How much have I made on that video? $158, almost $159. Okay, and it's starting to move. It's actually starting to move a little faster. In fact, in the last 48 hours, I've got 219 views on it, which is interesting. So that video suddenly got legs. Yeah, it took a while. I mean, it's been out for 500 days. That video's been out for well over a year. So maybe I'll do some more fun Dadgad progressions. I probably need to look at the analytics more to kind of know what's popular and what's. That's why I did that one Dadgad one though, the Dadgad tuning major and minor. In fact, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that one, and I'm going to go to this one that's getting some views here. I'm going to go edit this one. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Edit. And I'm going to add, oh, here it is. I can add a card and see what cards are in there. Oh, I've already got a bunch of cards in there. What's this card? Okay, what's this card? Okay, I'm going to add another card if I can. Can I add another card? One more. Video. Search my videos, Dadgad. Oops, search. Why did it go away? Oh, I said Dadgad. Okay, so I'll drop that one in there and see if that gets any more views. Okay, and you know what? I probably should shoot the video in here. I don't know. I think sometimes having that wall of guitars behind me kind of helps with the photo for promoting it, right? So anyway, and anything you guys can do to promote my videos too. if you're on any forums or anything, if there's one of my videos that you really like, or even the live stream stuff, feel free to talk about me on the forums. I don't mind that at all. Even if it's to say negative stuff about me. How I'm always checking my email while we're... No, I'm not checking. Do I have any email? I have no email. I'm all caught up on my emails. Oh, I do have to do that, though. I have to do the band list. So, all right. Well, then, get promoted then, Gary. No, I'm just giving you a hard time. Yeah, so I may do a video on strumming. Maybe I'll work on that today. And like I said, maybe I'll try to film it right here so that it... in fact, the light right now is pretty good. So with that light set up the way it is, boom, right? So maybe I'll do that. I have to conceptualize what are my 5 favorite strumming patterns, and then I have to do. I think probably for all of them, I already have notation for it, so that's cool. I'm also got a new notation software that seems like might be ultimately be a little bit better for creating tabs and things like that. So we'll see what happens there. But anyway, I should get going. I got to go get my eye looked at. I'm going to go do that now and see if I can figure out a plan for this stupid. I've got a tear in my cornea right now because I took some ibuprofen. It doesn't hurt. But man, I almost can't see anything because my eyes are watering so bad. My sinuses get all messed up. And it just feels like someone's poking me in the eye, like just got their finger in my eye and they're pushing. So it's brutal. So you can be praying for me on that. Do a video with Justin talking about songwriting. Yeah, I know. That would be fun. I haven't done any songwriting videos, mainly because I don't have any hits. And I write differently I write differently today than I wrote back in the day. I could talk about that though. I could do maybe a video on my songwriting journey. Maybe that would be the video to do. Okay. So anyway, I will talk to you later, and we can do. Yeah, so not next week. Remember, next week I won't be here, but the next Monday, I think I'll change the subject. Okay, so we'll come up with a new subject. Maybe I'll talk about strumming groups to promote the video. Okay, so anyway, God bless you all. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk soon. We got pretty good. We got up to 27. We sat there for a minute, so that was good. All right, take care, everyone. Bye bye.